Oh my. Superintendent is a full-time job. This is the beginning of my 34th year in the Saugus Union School District. I started here as a teacher. I was project coordinator. I was principal at Cedar Creek Elementary, came back as the assistant superintendent in the district office for curriculum and instruction. And this is the beginning of my 5th year as the superintendent. And I've just had an amazing career. I've met amazing people, worked with just incredible professionals, and I look at my job is to help those professionals continue to do the great work they do in classrooms. I have a student that I had as a kindergartner, and when I first came in the district, I taught a kindergarten first grade. I had that student as a first grader, and I had him again as a second grader, and then I had him again as a 4th grader. And he was just this wonderful youngster who could find ways of getting himself into trouble. But he was always the kid that said, yeah, I did it. And he just touched my heart in so many different ways. And when I became principal at Cedar Creek a number of years ago, there's a knock on my door. And here's this lovely, not so little boy anymore, who's getting ready to go off to college. And he says to me, thank you for making sure I did all the things I needed to do, and I'm off to USC. And I was pretty impressed with that, for someone to take the time to come back and say, thank you for doing what you did so that I can be successful in my life. And I think that's what teachers do. You know, you just don't know how you touch someone's life, and they come back and you really have had influence. There's just nothing that is more satisfying than that. And you don't go into it for that. You go into it because you want to be able to help. You want that child to be able to overcome whatever their challenge is. You want them to be better than they were when they started with you. I think there's always self-improvement. There's always something more. I want to get out to schools more often. I want to be able to be part of what's going on, and I know that there are so many more rules, regulations that we continue to have to deal with. We're in the process of bringing in new staff. I've got new principals out at school sites. It's exciting to see them as they get started. We're meeting with them. We're meeting with new staff here at the district office and acclimating people and helping them to understand how it is we do business in Saugus. I think that there's always something to improve. I think we live in a business that just as it is, it changes day to day. And we're in just huge change. We're with a new budgeting formula, with the local control funding formula. We're in a new accountability system called the Local Accountability Plan. We have a new testing kind of a setup. We're looking forward to seeing how that rolls out and how we can continue to improve who we are so we continue to be the excellent district that we are. Our community passed a $148 million bond last November. So we are looking forward to seeing the fruits of all of that happening within as we go forward. We've got projects at every school that we want to get started on. In fact, we really believe the arts are part of the education that our children absolutely deserve. And each of our schools has a little bit of a different focus, but they all have some piece of the arts going on. We were very fortunate that our assistant superintendent, Dr. Christine Hamlin, had the opportunity to participate in Arts for All through the County of Los Angeles. And they offered us the opportunity to write for a grant, and we had several schools that said, oh yes, we'll come help. And they wrote for the grant, and we were given that grant, and so we'll have some extra things going on at a couple of schools. The Common Core itself is not a lot different than what we have had as California standards. And from here on out, we're going to call them California standards. They are what we expect children to know and be able to do. So all of the basic skills we've always done, and we've always done a good job with those, but it's that next level. It's that level of saying, so now that you know how to add and subtract, can you apply it? Can you take a look at a problem and figure it out? Do you know what method you need to use? And so I think that's that next level of having students be much better at critical thinking, collaborating with their peers, being creative, and being able to solve real life problems. We're excited our kids are coming back and that we are going to be able to provide them with an absolutely excellent education. When we speak with parents and we ask why they moved here to the Santa Clarita Valley, they tell us it was for the schools. And our teachers have their children in our schools, our principals have their children in our schools, and everyone works together as a team.